Hello YouTube! Back with another video. I know, it's a little more frequent than usual. I want to start a new series, and it is probably going to be along the lines of catching up with the Dream SMP. The title will be different because I need to configure the SEO and all of that for more people to watch my content that I work really hard on. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It really means a lot. Thank you. Big thanks to Update dsmp, I think is the name of the Twitter account. I don't really remember the name of the account, but that is kind of where I've been sourcing my information, as well as the streams that I've been watching in my own personal time. Episode 1 of Catching Up with the Dream SMP. Hello, my name is V. This is the first episode in a series where I catch you up on the events that happen on the Dream SMP. So sit down, my fellow stan, grab a snack, grab a drink, grab your friend, I don't know, actually maybe don't because there's coronavirus, but so let's get started. On Sunday, Foolish, H-Bomb, Tommy, Jack Manifold, Awesome Dude, and Ranboo went live. Out of all those people, not everyone was streaming lore, so let's just see what Tommy, Jack, Sam, and Ranboo were up to. In Tommy's stream, if you saw the stream title or if you saw the notif or something like that, Tommy visits Dream for the last time. He chats with Warden Sam, who's kind of unreceptive to his chatter as per usual. And the reason why Tommy goes back to prison is because he wants closure. He wants to kind of move on from, you know, all that drama with Dream and move on to future prospects like the vvbutnot hotel, his latest project that he's taken up on the Dream SMP. Dream is still hopeful that he can get out someday, and he even asked Tommy to visit him like at least once a month because honestly, I think the only people that have visited him since he got into prison were Tommy on like the very first day. Bad Boy Halo visited for a little while, Sapnap visited, and this is Tommy's second time visiting. And I don't really know if anyone else has visited beyond that. I think those are the main people though. So he asked Tommy to visit him more, even if it's just once a month. And he actually compares the situation to Tommy being in exile and how lonely he was during that time and how he even wanted Dream to visit him sometimes. And this completely enrages Tommy because Dream was the one that kept Tommy in exile, so obviously that makes him pretty mad. And he says that Dream is never going to get out of jail and that they can never be friends. He hurt everyone on the server and doesn't deserve a second chance, which honestly is pretty fair. So he breaks the news to Dream. He says that it is going to be his last time visiting. And so, as Tommy begins to leave, TNT explosions are heard from outside of the cell, which is very alarming considering that you're in a prison cell with a high security prisoner. So he calls out to Sam multiple times. He says, "Sam, please let me out. I'm stuck in here with Dream, and I really don't want to be." This is when Dream reminds him of the contract that Tommy signed when he entered the prison for the first time. If there is ever a prison emergency, it is possible to be stuck with the prisoner for up to 3 to 7 days. This is something that Sam makes very explicitly clear. And Tommy, as usual, wasn't paying attention when this happened, so he's like, What are you talking about?" And so Tommy freaks out, saying that he doesn't want to be around Dream because Dream is kind of the cause of, or has been the cause of, like all of his pain and misery and suffering basically the entire time that he's been on the server. The entire disc saga and the disc confrontation and all of that, that was all between Tommy and Dream. So he has very good reason to not want to be stuck in this prison cell. So he calls for Sam again, and then he calls for Phil, and he still gets no response. And that's pretty much where the stream ends. It was a really janky stream. His stream was kind of like cutting out and slowing down at times because there were so many people watching. Like there were more than 500 people, There were more than 500,000 people watching the stream. So yeah, that's where the stream ended. And then we move on to Jack Manifold. So on his stream, he finds out that Tommy has gotten himself stuck in jail. Now, for a little bit of context, Jack is Tommy's one and only employee of the vvbutnot hotel. I say employee because Tommy made a lot of jokes about Jack being his Slav, which is basically, it's basically slave without the E, but like saying slave on twitch.tv would probably be a bad idea. So yeah, Tommy basically formally employed him with no payment in return, making him do all of the grinding and stuff that he needed to upgrade the hotel. So after Jack finds out that Tommy's stuck in prison, he delightedly renames the vvbutnot hotel to the Big Jack Manifold Hotel, which It doesn't have the same ring, but you can see what he's going for. He decides that he wants the hotel all to himself, in case it wasn't clear from what he titled the hotel. So in pursuit of this goal, he decides that he wants to tell everyone that Tommy actually tried to break Dream out of prison, and that's why he's stuck in there. Moving on to Sam. After the TNT situation kind of happens, Sam realizes that it is finally time to get some new guards for the prison while he goes and investigates kind of what's going on with the TNT. So he decides the new guards should be Bad Boy Halo and Ant Frost. If you've been watching the Dream SMP lately at all, you know that these two are kind of at the center of the Eggpire. So their morals right now are kind of ambiguous. The keycards that they're given by the warden, Sam, don't give them access to Dream's main cell, to be clear, but they are allowed in pretty much all of the other areas of the prison. And Bad asks a lot of sus questions during this tour, and he even seems a little bit excited when he asks what would happen if Sam were to get trapped in the prison. Very concerning questions, and you'd think that Sam would be a little more concerned about these questions, but he seems very nonchalant about it. He seems to trust Bad and Ant Frost very well. And then regarding the TNT, Sam says that it hasn't had that much impact on the prison at all because it's made out of obsidian. And I don't think Ranboo has had that much lore recently, surprisingly, but there is a bit of a conspiracy blowing up right now about a secret message in his inventory. I'll put up the picture on screen right now. It's not confirmed or anything, but I thought I'd put it out there. And it actually, I personally kind of believe in it, but it's up to you on that one. So I think that's going to be the end of this episode of Keeping Up with the Dream SMP. Again, I don't know if that's actually what I'm going to call this series, but that's like the temporary name for it. Thank you for tuning in. It really means a lot. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. As I said earlier, I want to make this a weekly series, so uploads will probably be happening on Saturday or whatever day this ends up coming out on. With that, I'm very tired. I'll see you next time. Have a nice day.